Good evening. Welcome back to the One Celtic fan. One Celtic one. Yeah, welcome back to the channel. Great start that was, wasn't it?
Celtic fans view.
Yeah, it's One Celtic fans view. Thank you. As if I needed reminded on a daily basis. Big shout out to Danny Cassie, who has blessed us with his presence as always. Thank you for the super chat, Danny. We'll get that in first. But Celtic, yes, Celtic have had an interesting evening once again. Just when you think that it's going to be nice and quiet, Celtic obviously put out a statement from Martin O'Neill first. But Celtic, it's not really a statement. Works. A statement. There we go. That should be a bit better. It wasn't really a statement, was it? It was more just a warm up to tomorrow and his press conference by the media. It'll be interesting to see what he says tomorrow. He didn't give too much away. He didn't give too much away in the interview. He said that everybody's up for it, and he said that the fans. He said that once again he spoke about his time at Celtic 20 odd years ago, and the unity that we had at the time then, and he mentioned about the fact that Celtic had went through a period where they hadn't won things, and was that a sly dig at the fans? Don't know. And I mean, in all due respect to Martin, he managed Celtic at a time where it was a bit harder to play against other teams. It's been a difficult season for Martin, but he's glad that the fans are all back together. Now, he's loving the fact that the fans are back together, but cue the Celtic Fans Collective. Yes, we haven't heard from them for a lot months. Can't remember the last time we heard from the Celtic Fans Collective, actually. But they put out a statement this evening. We'll get to that first. We'll just get right to it. Celtic Fans Collective put out the following statement last week. Celtic Football Club took a decision which will significantly impact supporters. In this case, the relocation of fans within the rail seating section. Without prior consultation or clear communication, around 170 season ticket holders received an unsigned email on Friday afternoon informing them that while they would be able to renew their season tickets, they would not be able to remain in their current seats. This communication was provided little clarity around the relocation agreements, including whether supporters attending together would remain together. Throughout the season, the club has repeatedly demonstrated that its communication are lacking and its supporters' engagement model is fundamentally broken. While we understand further clarification from the club will follow soon, what it does not excuse is the manner in which it was communicated in the first place. And any attempt to improve the atmosphere or matchday experience should be welcomed, but it must also be carried out with respect for all supporters, proper engagement with those affected. Just days further, public comments from the chairman, Brian Wilson, regarding communication, engagement, togetherness between the club and its supporters. This situation once again highlights the discontent between those statements and the reality experienced by its supporters. The club must now commit, as a matter of urgency, to transparent and democratic supporter engagement model capable of properly representing supporters' concerns, resolving fan issues, and holding the board accountable. Many thanks. Signed by nobody. The Celtic Fans Collective. Isn't what they're sending out emails with nobody's name on it. A bit like the club. It's interesting that they decided to put that communique out. The same fans are calling for uh, an area of Celtic Park to be made a standing section so that fans from the Green Brigade area, the fans from 111, 110, and that whole area, and the boys can be moved behind the goals at Celtic Park, which would mean moving people that have sat there since Fergus McCann built that last little part of the stadium. It was the last area of Celtic Park to be redeveloped. People have sat there with their families since the stadium was redeveloped back in the late 1990s. Those people would not get the communique either. I mean, they would be getting told that they would be moved. I think it's kind of ironic. But it is the Celtic way to ask, and just tell things. And, I think even the boys' ultras group were quite surprised on the ease that it was manufactured for them to get moved. And to be fair, I think the boys were quite surprised at what was just an original suggestion, nothing more than a suggestion by the boys group, and it was put out there, and the club went for it. You can understand why the club went for it. I mean, we spoke about this the other evening. You can understand why the club went for it. The club do not want ultras sitting that close to them with inside Celtic Park, and they would rather that the fans moved to another area of the stadium where they couldn't closely get to the boards. Anyway, that's enough of that. Sky Sports, let's listen to John Hartson. I just need to make sure the volume's up. I'm going to listen to John Hartson because he's been talking about the run-in to the end of this season.
Right, I just don't get involved much anymore. I'm just going to stands and be a fan now. That's all I do. But yeah, I think it's as they've been going really. Since there was this sort of three, like a 3-horse race, if you like, in the last 5 or 6 weeks, and it's whoever can hold their nerve. It's almost like throwing 3 balls up in the air a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? But it's getting a bit tighter now. And as I said, it's whoever can string them a little bit of consistency together. I think if Celtic can win the game on the weekend, then I think that'll probably guarantee them, either first or second place, which would be great for them. But I think the ones that need a lot of praise in their hearts, I thought they'd fall away 15, 16 games ago. But to sustain it the way they have has been remarkable. The crowd has helped them at Tynecastle. I think Derek's done an amazing job. They're the team to catch. They're the team currently top of the league. So, yeah, it's going to be very exciting. And as I said, whoever can just handle their nerve, whoever can take that little bit of an opportunity, maybe a little bit of luck, a refereeing decision, and that's probably going to settle it for me.
How do you see the title race going? 3 games left.
I don't know. I see that fence over there. I'm going to go sit right on that fence over there, and I don't normally, but I just think, as I said, it's one game at a time. I think Celtic have won now 5 in a row. Hearts keep winning. However way they do it, they keep winning. Winning 1-0, nicking games 2-1, defending strong. So it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one to call. I think everybody knows where my heart is. But as I said, it's just going to be about who holds their nerve now, and maybe just that crucial moment in the game. That'll be the difference.
It would be the difference. That was John Hartson talking about the title race. I just want to jump into a comment that I've seen coming up there. Jim Lister says that Baz, on your earlier YouTube video, I wanted to say I think that the players that were brought in January were all down to Paul Tisdale, and Martin O'Neill had no choice and is now getting the blame for it. Paul Tisdale was sacked after the Rangers game along with Wilfred Nancy. That was on the 4th or the 5th. What was it? The 5th of January? We didn't bring in these players until the late stages of the window. If Martin O'Neill and Celtic were still intent on bringing in the players that Paul Tisdale had picked out, then they learned nothing from the fact that he was the man that also picked out Wilfred Nancy. So that means that the club are even more negligent than what was first expected. And if Martin O'Neill was okay with that, it reiterates my point this morning that Martin O'Neill was not the man for the job next season. And I'll still say that if we win the double, I will still say that Martin O'Neill was not the man for the job next season. We need a longer term appointment. We need someone that can change not only the first team, but can put in place a real system that takes the club forward. Whether a manager will get that opportunity or not, I very much doubt it, but we'll wait and see. So in other Celtic news this evening, Hearts, big jam farts. Hearts of Midlothian today put out a thing saying that they have got the tickets for the final league game of the season away to Celtic Park. And the reason I'm talking about this is obviously it's at Celtic. You read their statement. Our tickets for our final match of the season away to Celtic go on sale to supporters with 144 loyalty points at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And then they put the link in. Now remember that they do say tomorrow in the statement on Twitter. Any spares for the home end? More chance of and we'll know who he is. Announced being back at Tynecastle. All hospitality suites filled, big screens on the pitch, and another on the plaza, etc. Defiant. Can you not do a deal to get out the big screens back at the Tynecastle pitch? Make good money for the club. Nothing about the reduction in fans, the small away fan base. They don't seem to be talking about that now. Long shot, but is there any spares? I'll pay a lot more from face value. Home and away, but I guess a lot. Where is it? I need to find this one. Make sure their ground's empty. We can buy up their seats and make it a home from home. What? Can you please stop false advertising and show the real view we get? That's a cracker, because that's not the view that Hearts get. That's the view from the boys' ultras section looking over to the Green Brigade. That's not the section of the away fans at Celtic Park. And then that was a good one. Bring your tissues. You've missed a where is it? There's can't wait to 144 points. Usual. Don't tell me he's deleted it. Looking forward to home end tickets after they're out the race on Sunday. Yeah, we'll just wait and see. Rangers fans jumping in. £700 in the Celtic end. The guy's went and deleted it. Where is it? He's deleted it, hasn't he? There was a guy went off and said the link's not working. The link's not working. Can you please sort it? He's obviously deleted the comment. Can't find it. Yeah, he's deleted the comment. Oh well, that didn't work out the way I thought it would. A bit like the way that this season has went. Anyway, moving on from that, because they think that they're going to be doing a little bit of a help from their friend this weekend. Now, transfer talk is back on the agenda again. George Campbell, an American who plays at West Brom, who is a defender. And their cries were no defenders, they said. Celtic will obviously be looking at defenders in the summer with the likes of Stephen Welsh leaving the club, the likes of Big Rocky leaving the club finally. Talks have already started with Lewis Palmer to leave the club, according to some sources online. So Celtic will be making way for players to come in, as we know. And this guy is rated at 1.5 million. People will say another cheap option by the club. Well, if you want to go down the route of buying in Arne Engels and complaining, it's going to be an interesting summer when it comes to transfers, because Celtic will be stuck between a rock and a hard place with regards to, if Celtic go out and spend 5-10 million on a player, the support will be expecting massive things from the club. The fans will expect massive things of the player that comes in at 10 million, and they'll be deeply disappointed if he doesn't turn out. I mean, when you look at the money that we paid for Benji Nigren, 1.5 million, 1.7 million or something, and he scores 20 odd goals. I think if you can bring in half a dozen players like that, it works. But the downside of Celtic, the majority of the time, it doesn't. George Hampton Campbell comes out of Chester, Pennsylvania. Let's get ready to rumble. And he can either play at left back, right back, or he can play in the centre. He can play at both sides of he can play at the right back, left and right of a central defence. Another American. Is it a good thing having 3 Americans? Don't know. It's interesting. Anyway, we'll wait and see if anything comes out of that one. Do we have a ready-made replacement for Benji Nigren and Kenny? Someone who plays just behind the striker and is on fire down south. Interesting comment. And how the F have we got fans who cry about transfer fees when there are clubs who are blowing 100 million plus on others? Not in Scotland, no, are they? Not not in Scotland. I mean, 10 million's big money for any Scottish team. And that's kind of it this evening. Well, that wasn't the screen I was meant to go on. That was that screen. As for Celtic news-wise, it is all about getting excited for the weekend. I'm going to jump into the comments. I am just going to have a quick one tonight because my throat is killing me this evening. Anybody saw academy player Zion Pullen? Nope, he plays in under 15s or something, does he not? He's playing in the youth room. Engels has to go. Don't think he has improved. He is an empty jersey. Don't know what his best position is. If he is sold for 20 plus million, you know, it'll be a good piece of business for Celtic. And it will prove, if Celtic do sell Arne Engels for 20 million plus, it will prove a certain manager right. You know, Ange Postecoglou wanted Celtic to go out and spend £10 million on players, and he said, look, if you could sell them for 20, 30 million, you know, you're still making a profit. This insistence by the Celtic board of only paying between 1 and 5 million for players and trying to turn them into 25 million players, it doesn't happen that regular. You know, there's not that often that a player has such a high jump in a value, and especially when it comes to Celtic. Because you look at all the players that have came to Celtic, and some of them have left for the exact same money. If you look at Louis Palmer, he's a player that was brought in for 3 point odd million, and Celtic are currently trying to do a deal to sell him for 4 million. The club owe the fans big time. They have to spend massive this summer. Do they have to spend massive, or do they have to spend more wisely? I think that's the... It's a hard one, because you can spend big I mean, there's a comment there about Arne Engels. Engels has to go. Don't think he's improved. He's an empty jersey. Still don't know what his best position is. If you go out and spend 40 million on 4 players, bring them in 10 million each, the Celtic fan base will automatically expect these players to be of a significantly higher standard than what we currently have at Celtic Park. And the reality is, and one that's hitting home even more now, the reality is in Scottish football, 10 million does not get you the best players. Do you know, when you look at the likes of teams down south, Nottingham Forest, that can spend 25, 30 million pound on players, and they're rubbish. Do you know, they're absolute wash. But anyway, let's see if we can find some decent players at this World Cup, or is it too late? Baz, money does not get us trophies, as Champions League clubs found out. Again, Lisbon Lions did it, all Scottish players. Also in their second final in 19... It's a different time, Joseph. Come on. You cannot compare anything to what Celtic did in the 1960s and early 70s. You cannot compare that to modern day football, because talent gets taken away from the club at an early age. We can't compete. We can't even compete to keep the young players coming through the club. Do you know, a lot of the... It's a different time completely. And I'm not, next year, I am not getting sucked into this. Oh, but it's the 60-year Loverfest of... Do you know what? Yeah, fair enough. It's the 60-year and it'll always be a highlight. But come on, we've been shite in Europe for 20 years. If we're going to spend the whole of next year living off what happened 60 years ago, there's something wrong with our support. Because we have been garbage in Europe. We need to find a manager that can make us just even have half the balls that Martin O'Neill's managing to give this team. You could double your money on 10 players and trebling it to than trebling it on 3 million. This is very true. The club owe the fans big time. I'm not sure that they owe the fans big time. 20 million for Engels. Happy days. It's happened more than we had. 10 million sold for 20 though. Cheers, Tony. Lowe's Palmer's teeth get their own sign-on fee. That's disrespectful, mate. Come on. You need to spend wisely. Yes, I think that the club really needs to spend wisely this year. And do you know, I watched the Celtic Lennoxtown video today, and Paulo Bernardo's getting loads of praise. Don't know, and you're thinking to yourself, there's a guy that can't even get on the bench because Oxlade-Chamberlain's at the club, and Paulo Bernardo's getting all the praise of the day. It's going to be interesting with people like him and everything this summer. It's just going to be... Anyway, got an important game this weekend. First, we might need to buy half a team. Yes, we will. Edouard, Adam Ida, Engels, the only 3 we have ever brought in that price range. And we sold Adam Ida at a loss. Crazily. Bonkers. I still don't know why we sold Adam Ida. Brendan Rodgers said that no player, no striker would leave Celtic if we didn't have another striker in. About 4 days later, Adam Ida was sold. He said that he didn't have a clue that Adam Ida was getting sold. I don't know a word that he says. Hadamida could have won us this title this year. 20 goals last season. 29 goals in total in a year and a half at Celtic. But some Celtic fans thought he wasn't good enough. It's mental. It's absolutely crazy. I think there's just been crap at scouting and negotiating. That's very true. No, we buy 4 players at 10 million. We need a full rebuild, 5 million max, unless it is a striker. Tony's going for Celtic 3, Rangers 1 this weekend. We all hoped Engels would have been great. I don't think he ever had an outstanding game, in my opinion. Embarrassing as England bang on about 66. Yeah, I mean, they're just... They still think they're going to win the World Cup, though. They have that belief that they're going to win the World Cup. At least they've got a belief that they think that they can do it. I mean, when you go back to the 1990s and the team that England had from the 1990s onward, they underperformed. Celtic has never overperformed in the same time frame. It's I think it's bonkers, both it. But I think England had a lot better teams and should have done a lot better in the past. But who cares about them? I'm confident Motherwell will take points over Hearts and we will beat the Sevco. 3-1, 2-2. Away at Hearts. Interesting. And just not fucking here. Stupid question for fuck's sake, says John. Did I ask a question about Ange? I just quoted that it was, that's what he said. I just quoted Ange on the 10 million. It's fact. Ange said that. Ange said if you spend some 10 million on a player, you can get it back. So I just don't know if it was a question or not. Too much is not about money back as possible. He was gash. Don't post it if you don't want an answer. These are now arguing with ourselves in the comment section. It's coming home, Bazza. Fuck me. Fucking. It's like the Rangers are coming in it. But it's England. Fucking hell. Anyway, let's get it back to Celtic and Rangers this weekend. St Mary's Parish Coatbridge says it's going to be 3-0 Celtic on Sunday, and we will draw with your Sing Sash McInnes. And well to draw. Well, if Motherwell draw with them, puts us in a fantastic position. And there's nothing embarrassing about being the first non-Latin team to win with 11 Scotsmen. It should be celebrated. Fucking Tadgers. If Celtic are now, if this is all that we're going to keep on celebrating, and we're letting the board away with blue murder. Whilst we should celebrate it, yeah. But if Celtic are going to fleece us, as they've already started fleecing us, they're like, hey, yeah, there's the first shirt with anniversary. They're going to rip the arse out of it merchandise-wise next year. Rip the arse out of it. And all I'm saying is, we've been shite in Europe for the last 20 years. And it doesn't look like it'll improve anytime soon. Anyway. So, New Order are doing the Scotland song this year, Baz. You are kidding on. That would be fantastic. But anyway, let's have no more of this England crap. Yes, whoever said that in the comments section is crazy. Right, anyway, I was only coming on for half an hour this evening because my throat is a bit, as you could hear, it's about sounding like a Dalek this evening. And we'll see what Martin O'Neill has to say to it tomorrow. Should be interesting. Wonder how long the interview will last. I'm going to say 8 minutes because I think that Martin O'Neill, whilst he'll be asked a lot of nonsense, I think that he'll just want it over and done with. as quick as possible. Anyway, have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are all around the world.